If Captain America ever hopes to overcome the threat of Superior, he'll need all the help he can get, even if it means turning to the prodigal son of the Captain America legacy. All this and more on the pages of the United States of Captain America issue number 4, the penultimate issue of this Christopher Cantwell series. Alrighty then, so as we join the book, Captain America along with Winter Soldier and Sam Wilson are still in Kickapoo country. Steve opines about Joe Gomez and his people, saying that it's pretty amazing to see the Native American community continue to fight and thrive and claw for their own piece of the dream when really being American was thrust upon them. But with the whole, being here first thing and all, wow, Steve, that's a pretty interesting thought. Would have been nice if Joe Gomez actually got a chance to mention some of this in his appearance last issue. Still though, the fact that Steve is not stuck in his ways and is still trying to think and learn and grow and be a better person is all part of the reason why the other Captain Americas look up to him so much. Speaking of which, Steve has to grow his ranks a little bit more if he and his team are going to take down Superior and her ever-growing group of Captain America impersonators. Aaron, the Rail Rider, returns and he's brought along help, Arielle, the Captain America of the American College campus. And wow, if I thought Joe Gomez was done hard by in the last issue, it's got nothing on Arielle because they're not actually going to a college campus. She basically gets nothing to do until it's time for her backup story that explains her origin, which by the by is probably the darkest of any of these underground Captain America tribute acts we've seen so far. Essentially, her best friend was raped by a well-connected college frat boy, and when both the school and the cops refused to do anything, she instead decided to don a costume and go get her own justice. Seriously, it's just a couple inches removed from I spit on your grave superhero style. Now, when we hook back up with the bad guys, we see that Superior, along with the brainwashed Speed Demon, aren't alone anymore. They've been joined by Warrior Woman, A.K.A. Commander Krieg. Believe it or not, this time they actually do have a big plot and aren't just wandering around aimlessly from state to state. It seems that they want to break into NORAD so they can steal back the spirit of the Hate-Monger. You all remember the Hate-Monger, don't you? Silly old-timey Captain America villain who was ultimately revealed to be a clone of Hitler, and then he lost his physical form and just kind of became a ghost. Yep, that's actually what this has all been building up to, a fight with a big evil hate ghost. And hey, you know what? Because this story has become one giant Captain America legacy reunion, it's time to collect the last piece of the puzzle, John Walker, aka U.S.Agent, who really is living up to his own stereotype about being the drunk uncle who ruins Thanksgiving in the Captain America family because they have to quite literally peel him off a bar stool to get him to help. But hey, he loves America and we all gotta live together or die alone, am I right? So he gets to join the team. This actually leads to a very funny little segment here where Steve won't let him drive his own super cool motorcycle because he's drunk, nor will he allow the kids to drive it for him because they're not licensed. It's on the way over, Steve also explains that his shield, on top of being a super cool weapon, also allows him access to some very important American facilities, including NORAD. Captain America had hoped the Hate-Monger's ghost would stay locked up there in NORAD forever, but now the bad guys are going to break him out. Which, considering the bad guys killed most of the security that worked there anyway, I think they were really overthinking things when it came to the stolen shield fake Captain America plot. What's really funny too is that the Hate-Monger's spirit almost doesn't even want to work with Superior and the others, seeing them as lesser than the Red Skull, who already failed just recently on a huge scale. Oh, but wait, Warrior Woman has a whole pitch that she hopes the Hate-Monger will like. She says unlike the Red Skull, who was using overt hatred and racism to complete his goals, they're gonna be more subtle about it. They're going to steal symbols of Americana and corrupt them from the inside out, turning the very American people against each other until Hydra can rule fully completely. Oh yeah, that's a great plan. Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, that was the Red Skull's plan, to use Kobik to trick Captain America into thinking he was Hydra. It was a whole big secret Empire event and that failed too. It's nice to know on top of being evil, these villains also have really bad memories. Captain America and the Amera team make the scene. They're assisted by an actual real American captain who works at the base, making him the last member of the Captain America Underground. They all fight for a bit and U.S.Agent ends up hitting Speed Demon so hard it breaks whatever mind control Superior had put on him. Which, considering how easy it was to break that spell and how many times Speed Demon has almost been hit in the head in this series, that was not a great idea on Superior's part. Ultimately, the Hate-Monger and Warrior Woman end up slipping away, but the good guys manage to grab Superior and hope that they can push her for information. Naturally, the former Sin and daughter of the Red Skull refuses to talk and says that if they want anything out of her, they're going to have to torture her, which naturally Steve would never do, but hey, U.S. Agent, you're a little morally nebulous, aren't ya? Yeah, I know this whole scene is played as a joke and everything, but it's kind of messed up when you stop and consider America's own history when it comes to torture and outsourcing it to other people. And so that was the United States of Captain America issue number 4, everybody, and I'd be lying if I said right here in the penultimate issue this series isn't starting to crack under everything it's trying to hold up. There's a real problem with characters who seemed important in the beginning getting pushed aside for new characters. Wasn't this supposed to be Superior's big moment that she showed that she's not just the Red Skull's daughter anymore? And yet she ends up getting totally forgotten in exchange for an even more obscure character in Warrior Woman and an even crazier concept in the Hate-Monger Ghost. Likewise, was not the whole point of the United States of Captain America helping to build these brand new members of the Captain America underground and how they relate to their own communities and how, you know, America exists in the hearts of all of us, etc., etc. We see Arielle here for a minute, but she doesn't really do anything or even interact with Steve at all. Instead, we spend more time with U.S. Agent, which is fine, don't get me wrong. I love exploring the weird relationship he has to the greater Captain America legacy, but I figure if Cantwell wanted to tell that story, why did he not just tell that story instead of, you know, faking us out with all these new Captain America characters? Also, if the bad guy's big plan always involved springing the hate-monger from NORAD, why didn't they go there first? What was with all that in-between stuff? But by far, though, my biggest issue with this series is the one that I've been talking about since the very beginning, and that is that this whole story is ultimately not that different than the last several Captain America runs. Ultimately, I think I can really only give this one a 6 out of 10, and I hope if nothing else, the final part of this series has a little bit more to offer.
Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.